Donald Trump has been trying to make a big statement over the last couple weeks about how, yes, even though he's old, he is not mentally incompetent, unlike, as he's pointed out, the people like Biden or the people like McConnell or Feinstein or Pelosi. They're old and incompetent, Trump tells us, but he is just old. He's spry. And he knows other people in their 90s who are still, as he said recently, sharp as a tack. And the reason, of course, that Donald Trump is trying to come out there and separate himself from the other old people we have running for office is because a recent poll showed that the age of people like Donald Trump is a very big problem with the voters. They believe Trump is too old. They believe Biden's too old too, and a bigger margin believe Biden's too old. And that's why Trump has been trying to separate it as like, it's not the age issue, it's the mental competency issue. So recently, MSNBC host Mehdi Hasan decided to go ahead and call Donald Trump on his bluff. Like, okay, if you say it's a mental competency issue, let's show the public how mentally incompetent you are. And this is what he said. He goes, if we're going to talk about a presidential candidate's age and mental competency, his trouble even forming basic sentences, then let's do it. But Biden isn't the guy we're talking about here. And so Mehdi Hasan's show put together this hilarious and sometimes terrifying supercut of just a small selection of all of the mental bungles that Donald Trump has had over the years. So here is a small sampling of that clip. Take a look.
The Mueller report, I wish, covered the oranges, how it started. In the failing New York Times by an anonymous, really an anonymous, gutless coward. They sacrifice every day for the furniture and future of their children. Tim Apple. Mike Pounds. I know words. I have the best words. Yosemites, Nambia. Thailand. You have voter ID to buy a loaf of bread. The Democrats. Ooh, there was a mosquito. I don't want mosquitoes around me. I'm a very stable genius. The disinfectant, where it knocks it out in a minute, 1 minute. And is there a way we can do something like that by injection? I tested positively toward negative, right? Everybody.
Yes, I am.
People are flushing toilets 10 times, 15 times, as opposed to once. Sinks, right? Showers. And what goes with a sink and a shower? 10 times, right? 10 times. Wow, Bob, not me, of course, not me.
I mean, look, you can probably put those clips together of almost anybody in Congress at this point. But I do like what Hasan and his show have done here because it does remind the public of how dangerously incompetent Donald Trump was as the president of the United States. Being unable to pronounce certain words, not knowing, and this is the more important one, how to behave himself like a human being while meeting with foreign leaders. We saw the clip there with him, with Merkel. We saw him with Queen Elizabeth. And he doesn't know what to do. I mean, this is a real problem. But I want to go beyond the mental competency, right? Because to be honest, I don't think either Biden or Trump are just mentally incompetent. Like, I don't think either of them are. And that's why we need to go to the next stage, because Trump always brags about, I passed that mental acuity test and I challenge my rivals to take the mental acuity test. It's not about mental acuity, right? It's not about being able to draw the hands on a clock or person, man, woman, camera, TV. We need the psychological evaluations, because that is where Donald Trump falls way behind the rest of the pack. And how do we know that? Well, we know that because we had an unprecedented number of mental health professionals, dozens and dozens and dozens of them, warning us throughout the entirety of the Trump administration that this man, psychologically speaking, is not fit to be president of the United States. It wasn't an attack on how sharp he was. It wasn't an attack on his mental competency. It was an attack on his psychological state. And that's the more terrifying part. Okay? Because these mental health professionals, and they put out a wonderful book, The Dangerous Case of Donald J. Trump. They told us that it's his clinical narcissism and these other diagnosable mental issues that Trump has. Those are the reasons why his mental competency should be brought into question. Those are the reasons why we should be scared of this guy being president of the United States. It's not because he forgets where he is at times. It's because of the reasons why he does certain things. That's getting into the psychology of it. Now, of course, these individuals were unfortunately not able to psychoanalyze Donald Trump with him, on the couch. They didn't get to look at any CT scans of what was happening inside of his brain, but they know what they see on television. They see the clips like the one that Mehdi Hasan and his show put together right there, and they're able to form these, rudimentary, very basic analyses, I guess we'll call them, because they're not diagnoses, but they're analyses. And that's what happened here. But even if we just bring it back to the mental competency, yeah, we could show clips like that all day of Donald Trump fumbling his words, going off and ranting and raving and not being able to complete a sentence without going down 8 different rabbit holes. I do believe to a degree there's some mental decline there. And, maybe it's unpopular. Maybe y'all don't want me to say this, but I do believe there's a little bit of decline with Biden as well. And mostly it's just a slowing down with Biden. I'm not saying that there's, any kind of actual illness or condition that's doing it. I think it's just age, and I think he's just slower. He talks a little bit slower than he used to. So there's decline in the sense that, he's not out there giving a speech like I'm talking to you right now with energy and all this. He's slowing down because he's old and he's tired. I mean, the body gets tired. The brain gets tired. That doesn't mean he's not able to do the job. Trump, on the other hand, just in terms of mental competency, psychology aside, which again, that's the bigger problem, but on the mental competency part, he's screwing up because he genuinely doesn't know things. So I don't even know if that's more of a competency issue or more of a, hey, you're just very stupid issue. But either way, Trump's the one who brought all of this back into the forefront for the American public. You could have just ignored the poll about your age. You could have tried to go out there and convince people that, hey, you say I'm old, look what I can do. And, do a backflip on a trampoline or something. We'd all love to see it. I totally think you should 100% do that, by the way. But that's how you overcome that. But you're the one who shifted it from talking about age to talking about mental competency. And unfortunately for you, Donald, that is an argument that you are never going to win. Hey everyone, this is Aspen. And did you know that for the low cost of $0 per day, you can subscribe to the Fair and Balanced YouTube channel? We also encourage you to like, comment, and share. But again, click that subscribe button and help Aspen not be so grumpy.